Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja is a classic side-scrolling beat-em-up arcade game that was developed by Data East and released in 1988. Taking place in a fictionalized version of New York City, Bad Dudes follows the Bad Dudes Blade and Striker as they set out to rescue the President of the United States, who has been kidnapped by the nefarious Dragon Ninja. Known for its meme-worthy subtitle, I'm Bad, Bad Dudes was a pioneering and influential entry in the beat-em-up genre that defined arcades in the late 80s. The origins of Bad Dudes can be traced back to 1987, when Japanese video game company Data East was seeking to capitalize on the massive success of Double Dragon, one of the very first beat-em-up arcade games. After Double Dragon kick-started the genre, Data East wanted to create their own competitive beat-em-up title and tasked their team of burgeoning designers and programmers to brainstorm ideas. The development was headed by young designer Yoshihisa Kishimoto, who helped conceive the game's vigilant heroes taking on Ninja's plot. Taking inspiration from contemporary action movies like Lethal Weapon and Die Hard, the team created Blade and Striker as streetwise tough guys ready to crush punks and ninjas. Data East sought to differentiate Bad Dudes with more over-the-top attitude and set pieces compared to the grimmer Double Dragon. Everything from the characters' mullets and ripped jean jackets to dialogue like, I'm bad. Bad Dudes was cobbled together in just a few months by its young team fueled on energy and passion. For the graphics, the developers used digitized models to create the highly detailed sprite-based characters. By filming live actors and costumes as references, the artists could faithfully recreate details in 8-bit like the dragon emblem on the ninjas' uniforms. This method gave a more realistic and gritty look compared to hand-drawn graphics. To push the limits of the arcade hardware, the team implemented state-of-the-art techniques like parallax scrolling for multi-layered backgrounds. All this technical wizardry brought Bad Dudes' urban environments to vivid life. In charge of the music was composer Kazunaka Yamane, who crafted a rock and pop-inspired soundtrack befitting of Blade and Striker's rebellious attitudes. The music forewent traditional Japanese styles for a very American-sounding guitar rock, complete with vocal gibberish mimicking English lyrics. This complemented the modern big city settings while giving a Hollywood blockbuster vibe. Sound effects like pained yells and bone cracks added visceral impact to the brawling. After a brisk development cycle, Bad Dudes was released in arcades in 1988 by Data East, first in Japan and North America. The game's cabinet sported eye-catching artwork of Blade and Striker ready to unleash carrot mayhem. Almost immediately, the game was a massive success in the arcades, owing to its simple, accessible play. Controlling either Blade or Striker, one or two players would walk from left to right, beating up any ninjas or thugs in their path. Combat was simple but satisfying, with a range of punches, kicks, and grabs to pummel enemies. Clearing each level meant rescuing a captive friend en route to the president himself. While light on story, Bad Dudes offered pure, unadulterated beat-em-up action that felt great to play. The experience was challenging but not punishingly hard, making it fun for gamers of all skill levels. Multiple difficulty settings allowed for an even more accessible experience. Bad Dudes dominated arcades throughout 1988 and 1989, becoming one of Data East's highest-earning titles ever. Its famous I'm Bad line permeated pop culture as both a fun meme and emblem of 80s excess. Porting Bad Dudes to home consoles proved problematic due to limitations in power. The graphics, sound, and two-player experience all had to be downgraded. The NES version by Bandai stripped away much of the aesthetic that made the arcade version so iconic. Still, the NES game retained the addictive beat-em-up core that could captivate home players in marathon sessions. Future ports to Sega consoles and computers like the Commodore 64 saw more arcade accuracy. Though Data East tragically went bankrupt in the early 90s, Bad Dudes' legacy lived on through sequels like the 1990 arcade title Two Crude Dudes. The game represented a lighter, more playful evolution of Double Dragon's gritty foundation. Its boisterous attitude and over-the-top premise encapsulated 80s excess while still delivering a thrilling beat-em-up experience. For many arcade fans, hearing Blade and Striker proclaim, I'm Bad, remains a definitive gaming memory. In the 2010s, the burgeoning arcade game preservation movement allowed Bad Dudes to find a new audience. The game received deluxe compilations on modern systems like 4 Pounds and Nintendo Switch that faithfully retained its original arcade quality. Players who missed out on its heyday could finally experience the tight gameplay and 80s charm. The iconic Bad Dudes joined the pantheon of all-time classic arcade titles. The creation of Bad Dudes represented the exuberant, creative spirit of young developers at Japanese studios in the late 80s. With Double Dragon paving the way, Data East eagerly crafted their own take on the nascent beat-em-up genre. Driven by passion and talent, their small team designed memorable characters, settings, and gameplay fueled by 80s cheese and blockbuster action. What emerged was a seamless blend of simple mechanics, comic book style, and pop music flair. Bad Dudes embodied the arcade's golden era, when slender budgets and short dev times forced creators to maximize their innovation. Though Data East is gone, Blade and Striker's journey remains an iconic staple of gaming history.